You wake up. The room is quiet. Too quiet. No phone buzzing, no traffic outside, no footsteps upstairs. For a second you enjoy it. Finally some peace. But the silence keeps going. And somewhere around the 10th minute, your brain asks a question it was never built to answer. What if there's no one left at all? It sounds like a movie premise. But the real answer is far stranger because your body already has a plan for this exact scenario, written hundreds of thousands of years before movies existed. Your brain doesn't experience isolation as peace. It experiences it as danger. For most of human history, being separated from your group wasn't an inconvenience. It was close to a death sentence. No one to watch the grass while you slept. No one to warn you about a predator circling upwind. So evolution made isolation hurt, not figuratively, literally. Psychologist John Cacioppo spent decades studying this. Loneliness, he found, raises blood pressure. It weakens the immune system. It activates the same neural circuitry as physical pain. Your brain can't tell the difference between a broken bone and a broken connection. Doesn't that feel too specific to be an accident? It isn't. Humans spent nearly their whole existence in small groups, dependent on each other for food, safety, and memory, where the water is, which berries are poison. Lose the group and you don't just lose protection, you start from zero. In 1704, a sailor named Alexander Selkirk was marooned on a remote island. He expected rescue in weeks. He got 4 years alone. He talked constantly just to hear a voice, even with no one to answer. He later said the hardest part wasn't hunger or weather. It was having no other mind to check his own against. Psychologist Harry Harlow found something similar in isolated infant monkeys during the 1950s. Without social contact, they developed repetitive, self-soothing behaviors and struggled to interact normally even after isolation ended. Social contact isn't decoration on top of a healthy brain. For a species like ours, it's a raw ingredient the brain needs to function. Which brings us to the twist. You'd think total solitude would at least be quiet. Isolation studies say the opposite. Without other minds to bounce off of, your own mind gets louder, not quieter. Anxiety spikes, sleep fractures. Some solo sailors and polar explorers, isolated for weeks, report sensing an invisible companion beside them, comforting and entirely imagined. Even at the edge of total isolation, the brain's first move isn't to accept being alone, it's to invent company. And this is where the ancient story folds back into your actual life, right now, with everyone else still on the planet. Modern loneliness doesn't need a deserted island. Researchers like Cacioppo warned it works almost identically, just in slow motion. You can be surrounded by people, scroll through hundreds of connections, and still trigger the same ancient alarm if none of it feels like real closeness. Your brain doesn't count followers, it counts felt connection. So the next time you wake up to an unusually quiet morning, and some small part of you almost enjoys it, notice the moment, peace tips into unease. That shift isn't random. It's a 200,000-year-old alarm, still running in the background, still convinced that a silent room might mean you're the last person on Earth.